Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The COMPUTEX forum is about to begin. We would like to invite everyone to be seated and turn your mobile phone into the silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to welcome you back to the COMPUTEX Forum. COMPUTEX Forum, which has been held for the past 13 years, leading companies and business leaders have generously shared their ideas, their visions, and their passion at this stage. This morning, the COMPUTEX Forum will focus on sustainability. Four industry leaders will share their valuable opinions with us. Today, we are very honored to invite Mr. Samson Hu, co-CEO of ASUS. Samson plays a very important role in carrying out the 2035 ASUS climate action goals, building sustainability and social responsibility at every level, implementing digital transformation, and building a passion for innovation among ASUS around the world. Mr. Hu will talk about sustaining an incredible future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Samson Hu.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on our journey to sustaining an incredible future. Today, I will work with HGS to share with you how ASUS continue to advance sustainability both now and in the future. Climate change is taking a greater toll on our environment and our society. Efforts to counter this have made sustainability a critical issue for every country, industry, and individual. But businesses have often struggled with how to measure their carbon output and position themselves for success in the green economy. Today, I would like to discuss how ASUS began our sustainability journey, and then I will introduce how we shifted from carbon management to a new carbon-based opportunity. At ASUS, becoming a world-class green leader in technology is not just a goal. It's also a principle that drives operations across our entire company. On this incredible journey towards sustainability, we continually leverage our technological leadership, data-driven rigor, and human-centered philosophy to create a net-zero enterprise that drives the shift towards a circular economy with a responsible supply chain, creating shared value for each and every one of us. The principle has also informed our approach in developing our 4 sustainability pillars. The first pillar is climate action, where we focus on how we collaborate with our partners across our value chain to target net zero. Next is circular economy, how we leverage design thinking and technological advancement to minimize our impact on the planet. Our third pillar is responsible manufacturing. This refers to how we collaborate with our business partners to ensure labor and human rights protection in our supply chain. Last but not least, we have value creation, which includes how we create worldwide social impact by promoting ideas like digital inclusion. At ASUS, we have a profound desire in our heart to make the world a better place. But we also know that good intentions are not enough. For us, sustainability is a continuous journey. We always raise the bar for ourselves, translate our goals into a day-to-day actions and tangible outcomes, and keep pushing towards a more sustainable future. To achieve this, we are digitizing data, adopting scientific management practices, and optimize our core competencies to promote sustainable value creation. We have also committed to contributing to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals so that our sustainability actions have a meaningful global impact. Our plan goals make our every step more solid. That's why ASUS has set ambitious sustainability goals across our 4 sustainability pillars for 2025 and beyond. Each focus area includes separate goals and key performance indicators to ensure that we succeed in turning our sustainability values into action. Firstly, by building on the work we have done in previous years of circular economy, we intend to expand our sustainable procurement and increase the use of environmentally friendly materials in our products and the packing by 100%. Secondly, for climate action, we have set clear goals. Towards our net zero roadmap, we aim to use 100% renewable energy across our global operations by 2035. Additionally, ASUS is also committed to ethical procurement and prohibits forced labor practices in all areas of our supply chain. Our responsible manufacturing goals will focus on using 100% responsible minerals and ensuring that 100% of our key suppliers complete third-party audits. Lastly, ASUS is also dedicated to creating innovative projects to elevate our sustainable value, such as strengthening industrial and academia collaboration, and conducting projects to benefit our local communities. We are also taking measurable actions to achieve net zero carbon emissions throughout our value chain. To achieve this, ASUS has set science-based targets with a three-stage implementation approach to achieve net zero. Firstly, by enhancing our product's energy efficiency to be 30% better than Energy Star's standard, and requiring our key suppliers to achieve a 30% reduction in carbon intensity by 2025. Secondly, by using the 100% renewable energy across our global operations by 2035. Lastly, by 2050, we aim to invest in innovative technologies to remove our remaining carbon emissions and gradually move toward net zero. Achieving these ambitious goals starts at home for us. I am proud to say our new ASUS headquarters building received LEED Platinum certification, showing our commitment to the extreme standards of energy efficiency and environmental sustainability. We are taking further concrete steps to reduce the carbon emissions of our products as well. Peter Drucker once said, "You can't manage what you cannot measure." In this spirit, we have implemented a range of carbon management processes, including product carbon footprint assessment, carbon reduction strategies, carbon neutral products, and we are offering an innovative new carbon offset service. By conducting product lifecycle assessments from material extraction, manufacturing, packing, and shipment to end-of-life management, we can develop solutions that control carbon emissions along the entire product value chain. Our intensive assessment process has led to impressive results. For example, in 2021, our ExpertBook B9 became the world's first carbon footprint verified commercial data. And with our commitment to transparency, we regularly publish product carbon footprint reports, and our work is verified by SGS, the world's leading testing, inspection, and certification company. When it comes to the product development, we believe innovation and sustainability go hand in hand. That's why we employ the principles of design thinking to drive innovation in product development, focusing on understanding what customers want and need, while identifying optimal solutions that balance technology feasibility and business viability. We make an all-out effort to reduce our carbon footprint by adopting environmentally friendly materials, low carbon manufacturing, and elevating the energy efficiency of our products to complete our carbon reduction strategy. The ASUS 2022 B9 and the recent launch of ZenBook S13 perfectly embody our focus on sustainability and design thinking. These two carbon neutral laptops adopt post-industrial recycled metal and FC certified material for packing. We have also elevated their energy efficiency to exceed Energy Star standards. In addition to the strategies I have already mentioned, we offset any remaining emissions by using high-quality nature-based carbon credits to achieve carbon neutrality. This carbon neutrality is verified by SGS. And there is more. Today, I'm thrilled to announce our latest initiative, the ASUS Carbon Partner Services. This brand new service will be available to our commercial customers, and will allow them to easily understand and offset carbon emissions associated with their ASUS products. Customers will now be able to take a more active role in reducing their carbon footprint. We hold ourselves to the extreme standards of assurance and accountability, providing independent third-party verified offset programs that are flexible to customers' needs, high quality in their delivery, and impactful in their results. The service offers end-to-end delivery, assured quality, and is fully flexible and precise. Specifically, we enable customers to offset carbon emission throughout the product lifecycle and offers a one-stop service for clients to deal with the offset procedures. We are committed to selecting high-quality nature-based carbon credits and to using environmentally friendly materials to reduce our product's carbon footprint. In addition, the data quality and the processes for this service are all verified by independent third parties. Lastly, customers will be able to choose flexible options to achieve their desired level of carbon neutrality. This service will launch in Q4 this year, and we will initially focus on our commercial notebooks and desktops, starting with our ExpertBook B9 OLED and ExpertCenter D9 series. We plan to expand this service with additional products in 2024, such as commercial notebooks, desktops, and all-in-ones. Our commitment to sustainability also means we are fully committed to transparency and accountability. That's why we pride ourselves on our meticulous documentation and communication efforts with our stakeholders. We fully disclose our ESG performance, report on the carbon footprint of our products, and provide statements of compliance with industry, government, and other widely adopted environmental standards. Sustainability is vital to us at ASUS, and we are committed to the extreme standards of accountability to our customers, communities, and to ourselves. Our exceptional work in sustainability has been validated again and again with international recognition and awards. In 2022, we were proud to be listed in multiple ESG investment indexes. And this year, we are especially proud to be included in the Corporate Knights Clean 200 Index, a prestigious ranking of global corporations that prioritize sustainability at the core of their business. At ASUS, we are committed to creating shared value in our social incredible. I believe we can sustain an incredible future together. Now, please join me in welcoming Eric Fang, the Global Product Manager of SGS in the energy and sustainability fields. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. This is Eric Huang. I'm come from SGS. Today my topic is the carbon neutrality trend and the practice. Today my presentation will cover carbon neutrality and net zero trend, good practice, and make a conclusion and a suggestion. Okay, this is my brief profile. Please have a look. Okay, first I want to talk about the carbon neutrality and the net zero trend. Okay, according to IPCC, we want to have a livable climate and the Earth. We need to limit global temperature increase 1.5 degrees C. That means the global carbon dioxide emission need to decrease 45% from 2010 level by 2030, and then reach net zero around 2050. Okay, for the international trend, do a lot of effort. Okay, in the global level, through the Paris Agreement and the COP meeting to reach global consensus, including target, roadmap, and the checkpoint. Then several countries, such as USA, EU, Japan, already set up the reduction plan to make sure they can reach net zero by 2050. Then the CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, CBAM, just become as a EU regulation 2 weeks ago in May 17, which means for the specific export import their goods to EU, they need to buy and surrender CBAM certificates by 2026. And then several countries and several companies, just like ASUS, as CEO Mr. Hu mentioned, joined the RE100, which means those companies make a commitment to use the 100% green energy. Okay, let us talk about the global pledges and the target. Under current policy, the global temperature will be increased up to 2.7 degrees C. Okay, even achieve 2030 NDC, National Determination Contribution. If this target achieved, only will limit warming to 2.4 degrees C. And if Biden, the long-term or net zero target are considered, that will be limited to about 2.1 degrees C. Okay. Then, as you may know, up to now, about 140 countries already make their net zero pledges, including Taiwan. Okay, if in the best scenario, all 140 countries achieve their net zero target at the end, that will be only limited temperature increase 1.8 degrees C. You can see these 4 scenarios all are higher than 1.5 degrees C. So really, we need to act right now. Okay. For IEA is the International Energy Agency. There's a net zero by 2050 report set out the key strategic option to achieve net zero. The first one is the energy efficiency. Improve energy efficiency is the key and the first very important strategy. Okay, through the improvement of energy efficiency, building in the industrial, in the building efficiency, and the energy supply and the transportation efficiency, all is can implement immediately. Not like the other option need to take time, especially like CCUS. Actually, at this moment, we are in the critical moment for global carbon reduction. Although we said the world need to reach net zero by year 2050, but for the company also set up and make announcement their action. Take Apple as a example, Apple request that their supply chain and the product are required to achieve 100% carbon neutrality in year 2030. Then they also request 14 priority material needed to be replaced by the 100% recycled or renewable material. In Taiwan, that's TSMC and Foxconn are all involved on that. And Facebook also require all value chain to achieve zero carbon emission, and the Quanta also need to get involved. Okay, as a company, what is the good practice toward to net zero? Toward to net zero can have the 5 paths for the company. The first phase is inventory, to knowing your company carbon emission and also knowing about your product's carbon footprinting. In the CEO Mr. Fu's presentation, we know ASUS already calculated several their desktop carbon footprinting, and also is verified by SGS. Next stage will be the analysis. It's the analysis through the life cycle assessment standard to analyze the company's greenhouse gas emission and develop the reduction plan. The next stage will be reduction. In this stage, SBTi is introduced and set up the science-based target, just like ASUS mentioned previously. And also is the implement the ISO 50001 energy management system and the project-based carbon reduction project to reduce carbon emission and improve energy efficiency. The next stage will be neutralize and offset. In this stage, PAS 2050 are introduced through the offset the carbon credit to become the carbon neutrality. Again, in CEO Mr. Fu's presentation, we know ASUS also have conduct in one of these notebook do the carbon neutrality, and also is verified by SGS. The final stage is the disclosure. That's through the CSR and the TCFD report to disclosure what there is a carbon reduction performance and what is the financial impact related to climate change. For the company, besides what they're doing in my previous slide, the company also, as an organization, also need more careful about the management. There's a value chain carbon emission, including upstream emission and the downstream emission. Okay, for the upstream is use a material with a low environmental impact or reduce the amount of raw material. In the downstream, okay, through the R&D and the design improvement to reduce the energy consumption during the product usage stage, and also introduce the product-friendly design and the construction, the concept of circular economy, and reduce the waste and reduce the input of raw material. You can see from the CEO Mr. Fu's presentation, that's what the ASUS do a lot of effort in this area. So that means, okay, through the management of the upstream carbon emission and the downstream carbon emission to reduce the product's emission as low as possible. For the remaining unavailable emission, can through the implement the project-based reduction, or like as the CEO Mr. Fu mentioned, buy a high-quality carbon credit to offset the carbon emission to become the carbon neutrality product. Okay, as you may know, the carbon neutrality can be verified against the PAS 2060. However, PAS 2060, not an ISO standard. It's a public available specification. The ISO standard, ISO 14068, is under draft international standard, DI stage. It is expected the international standard will be published within 1 year. As you may know, ISO standard is the methodology. Through this ISO standard to allow you step by step to achieve this carbon neutrality. In this ISO standard also highlight in the first phase, in the early phase, you can offset 100% carbon credit, but in the later phase, you need to do some effort to reduce carbon emission. So in the future, will be certified by ISO 14068 for the carbon neutrality. Okay, that will be a trend. Okay, final, I do my conclusion and the suggestion. Is that European is already ready the net zero revolution. Through my presentation, you can find out another work is for the global company, no matter in the private sector or the government, do another effort. But for you, are you ready for this net zero revolution? And talk about the green transformation. The earlier enterprise lay out their green transformation. The company can lead, can take a leading position in the market. Then the development and commercialize of low carbon and the negative carbon technology will be more rapid. The organization is encouraged to challenge the innovation, technology, and the service. Final, during my presentation, you can find out through this go to the net zero, a lot of ISO standard have been adopted. So through the ISO standard, apply this ISO standard, as I mentioned, that's the methodology, can help you to comply the ESG, and at the end, can extend your sustainability performance. This is my last slide. Sustainability is the journey, not the destination. Okay, share with you and me. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Huang, for your inspiring speech. Please return back to your seat. Our next topic is about flash memory innovations, 35 years of sustainable growth and toward the future. Today, we are very honored to invite Mr. Tomoharu Watanabe, Director, EVP, and Executive Officer from Kyosha. Mr. Tomoharu Watanabe leads manufacturing, engineering, and all kinds of business operations of flash memory as Chief Operations Officer, and he is also responsible for the sustainability management. So first, let's take a look from the video from Kyosha.
Flash memory touches so many aspects of everyday life. When you create memories, they last for an eternity. Sharing happiness with family members, fondly remembering life's precious moments, or simply staying connected with friends. We reach for new heights, not restricted by boundaries. From the creativity of an aspiring young artist to the accomplishments of a skilled engineer, helping people move forward. These technologies are meant to be driven. They require precision performance, reliability, and responsiveness. When we need critical results and answers quickly, data needs to be processed instantly. And life-changing analysis made precisely. Global businesses are built on an enterprise foundation where data is of the utmost importance, protecting you and your valuable information. The future of the data center is the cloud. Vast and efficient, it's built for the world's population. And it scales seamlessly on demand to help process and store your data, whether you are at work or play. Continually aiming to enrich people's lives with our products and services, while ensuring that sustainability management is a focus and integrated into day-to-day operations, and always there for you when creating those memories that will last a lifetime. We are memory. We are SSDs. We are innovators. We are Kioxia. And together, we elevate a more sustainable digital world.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Tomoharu Watanabe.
Thank you, 大家今天的参与。Thank you for joining today's session. I see many prominent figures in the industry here. Meeting opportunity as many of you as possible is one of my objectives to being COMPUTEX. So you may be wondering why I'm going to talk about 35 years sustainable growth. Actually, Kioxia predecessor was the memory division of Toshiba, which invented NAND flash memory way back in 1987. The flash memory business continues to face great challenges to provide more and better products in the first cycle, while responding to various social demands and showing consideration for the environment. Today, I'd like to talk about how Kioxia was being a sustainable business since the early days. Kioxia is one of the key suppliers of flash memory, solid-state drives, or SSDs. We have one of the largest flash memory plants in the world, and we have established partnerships with many customers and suppliers around the world. Our Yokkaichi plant was established in 1992. It was the first 200 millimeters memory wafer production in the world, and positioned as a cutting-edge plant that would open the door to the 21st century. Following Toshiba's decision to concentrate on memory business then, our Yokkaichi plant has expanded and now consists of 6 300 millimeter NAND flash memory fabs, with addition of the Kitakami plant. It's Japan's northeast region. One of the key features of our Yokkaichi and the Kitakami plants is that they have been jointly producing a NAND flash memory since 2000 through a joint venture with SanDisk, which is now part of Western Digital. It's a unique. In 2007, we decided 3D NAND flash memory to lead the mass shift of flash memory in many different markets all over the world. Since then, we have changed our company name to Kioxia after the Japan word of memory Kyoku. Based on our mission of uplifting the world with memory, we strive to become a company that provides new value to the world through memory. Kioxia has 3 manufacturing bases: solid-state storage technology here in Taiwan, and +2 in Japan. In our SSD business, we provide one-stop support for manufacturing and sales from enterprise and data center application to B2C uses. And our silicon wafer production volume, including Western Digital output, accounts for more than 30% of the world's flash memory production. And we will continue to support this expanding market Kyokusha has over 15,000 employees now, and our global network extends across 10 countries and regions. Here in Taiwan, we welcomed solid-state storage technology, or SSSTC, to Kyokusha Group in 2020. SSSTC has been engaged in SSD business since 2008, when it was part of Light-On Group. Kyokusha utilized SSSTC's strengths and their rich experience to bring superior technology and products from Taiwan to the world. The world has changed a lot in the past few years as a result of the COVID pandemic, which seems to be finally easing. For example, meeting and interacting with friends online has become the norm. Eating in restaurants has decreased, and ordering food deliveries has become the norm. In terms of technology, this has plumped up the development supporting communication and storage technologies. As a result, flash memory is playing an increasingly important role in today's society, I think. Our various memory products have been indispensable in today's information society, as they are the fundamental devices that support digital technology and daily life. Our memory is supporting the evolution of IT industry. We are working to meet the demands for low power consumption, high speed, high reliability, and cost-effective electronics devices with our flash memory. Over the past decade, flash memory has been used in a wide range of the applications, including smartphones and PCs and cloud computing. And it now supports people's daily lives in a variety of situations. Flash memory's performance has improved thanks to innovative shrinking, meaning that the miniaturization and the unique stacking technology. A digital transformation and AI advanced amount of data generated worldwide is expected to explode. The quantity of data generated is already more than 100 times greater than it was in year 2000. In terms of memory and storage product that can capture and store and analyze more data as needed. Of course, the acceleration of these processes has increased people's expectation for real-time information sharing. Manufacturers of memory are required to help address social issues with advanced technology. Kyokusha Products has, based on our extensive knowledge and manufacturing processes, and accumulated over many years. Our product incorporates many concepts that takes environmental and safety issues into consideration while maintaining high productivity. Let me introduce some of our environmental initiatives, including the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions that we have been working on since the 1990s. I'd like to talk about the challenges we have faced in flash memory manufacturing. And we have overcome these by looking back over our history. In early days, we carefully examined the environmental impact from the development stage of the manufacturing processes to underlying technology of all types of equipment. We have also continued to expand to scale production to minimize our environmental impact. In particular, during construction of the Yokkaichi plant in the 1990s, we didn't have addressed just operation issues, such as manufacturing equipment, material supply, and emissions. We also had to work parallel with the local government to gain their understanding of the local community. Now, our main plant, Yokkaichi, has an area about 700,000 square meters, which is about 1.3 times bigger than Tokyo Disneyland. Minimizing our environmental impact is now more important than in the past. In our use of industrial water, we must protect nature in accordance with relevant laws and regulations. Since the 1990s, wastewater along the chemical solutions have been treated with our separation and recovery technology. Over the period, we have strictly controlled our discharge of effluents and the chemicals to 1/30 of the regulation levels. This has transformed the nearby river into a natural fish-rich habitat. There is an interesting history from the early days of Yokkaichi. There are very few semiconductor plants in the region, and it was a time when the local government was demanding careful operation, periodically shut them down to safety inspections. One time during inspection, fish in the nearby river started dying, leading to rumor that the semiconductor plant has contaminated to the river. Investigation revealed the cause was a lack of the oxygen due to increased the concentration of domestic water in the river. And this was caused by the shutdown of our plant wastewater during this period. This incident helped the public understand how clean not our semiconductor plant wastewater was. We have been reducing the environmental impact of our plant expansion. By introducing technology and reduce not only the quantity of water, but also gases and chemicals used in the plant. As we entered the 21st century, we began to introducing mass production technology to remove volatile organic matter. During that time, we also introduced a large-scale trap system, probably the first of its kind, a 300mm semiconductor fab. Today, the system has been introduced in all of our new fabs. We are also continuing research into reuse and recycle. For example, hydrofluoric acid to be discharged in a cleaning and etching processes. And through collaboration with partners company, we have succeeded in producing a high purity of calcium fluoride from the discharge. This has reduced the amount of waste containing hydrofluoric acid by roughly 30%, and has also begun to contribute to the reduction of natural fluoride use. To eliminate the emission of PFCs with high global warming potential during manufacturing, abatement equipment has been installed in 100% of our targeted facilities since 2011. As a result, Kyokusha has achieved a reduction of about 90% of Scope 1 baseline greenhouse gas emission. The total reduction of CO2 emissions from 2017 to 2021 was about 3.8 million tons, which we calculated is equivalent annual emissions from the medium-sized LNG fired power plants. In expanding our production sites, we have considered not only how to reduce our direct environmental impact, but also how effectively reduce our indirect impact. In order to achieve this, we are focusing on our three processes: input, manufacturing itself, and output. But core of our effort is the manufacturing technology. We have been studying efficiency improvements in each process unit. And we have implemented measures in our facilities and production method that reduce one of the low materials and energy, as well as workloads as process time. They're reducing our environmental impact, our cost. We also promote reuse and recycling to reduce our conserved resources. We conduct our business based on our corporate social responsibility to address global issues. We expressed our support TCFD in 2021 to underline our commitment to global warming countermeasures. Kioxia as a whole is committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions across our entire operation, not just in our production processes. We disclose the result of our efforts in our sustainability reports in accordance with TCFD guidelines. In addition, our two plants in Yokkaichi and Kitakami have been awarded platinum status out of BE's audit, highest ranking. We believe collaborating with such world-class institutions and initiatives is extremely important to understand and respond to the demands placed on companies by an ever-changing society. Kioxia has ambitious goals for the future. We aim to achieve net zero Scope 1 and Scope 2 greenhouse gas emission by 2050. For Scope 1, as I mentioned earlier, we have already reduced emissions by about 90% since 2011 by installing PFC's reduction equipment. For Scope 2, we have just started installing solar panels on the roof of our fabs as a first step. The first unit installed in Kitakami is already in operation. The next one started operation today in Yokkaichi. Both of these units have the largest power generation capacity of any semiconductor plant in Japan. In the future, we plan to add more units to other fabs. In addition, we will continue to install PFC reduction equipment and of all our newly constructed fabs. We are engaged in our environmental activities aiming to ensure to the sustainability growth society. I would like to show you a video about our sustainability efforts and explain how we aim to contribute to society through our product and service.
The world and all the people are moving faster than ever before. There continues to be great progress in many areas, including science and technology. But we also face new challenges. Social and environmental issues are becoming more serious each and every day, including climate change. This doesn't have to be the end. We're Kioxia, and our products have enabled innovations that have benefited society and the world. We must develop solutions that make people's lives and our planet better, while utilizing our advanced technology. Corporate social responsibility is nothing new for Kioxia. We have been building sustainability into our business, R&D, and factory operations for decades. From reducing CO2 emissions and waste, to the recycle and reuse of water and chemicals, and increasing the usage of renewable energy by installing large-scale solar power generation systems at our fabs. Kioxia is a world leader in flash memory, and we will lead by being part of the solution of a sustainable society and reduce our environmental impact. Our goal is to achieve net zero carbon by 2050. As the world moves forward, we can work together to transform society by accelerating our efforts to develop innovative solutions while also addressing environmental challenges. This is just the beginning. Kioxia, uplifting the world with memory, sustainably.
Thank you. Kioxia has established themes that we consider the most important in developing our business together with society. We contribute the realization of creative, comfortable, and safe society based on our missions of uplifting the world memory. As the main foundation for this creation of social value, we have identified 3 core elements: human resource, and technology, and partnerships. We believe that continuous investment and growth in their area will lead to sustainability. We also recognize the focusing of our business on the sustainability of society is something our stakeholder demands. We will embed this our value creation process based on our mission. As an example, Kioxia contributes to society through its products and services. I'd like to talk about improving the energy efficiency of our products. This is a very important issue for future expansion of the flash memory market. Specifically, we have set an ambitious goal of reduced energy consumption per gigabyte of memory processing for our SSD memory products by 15% by 2025 from 17 levels. By 2021, Kioxia already achieved 19% reduction. But with our devices being heavily used in data center, smartphones, automobile, and other IoT and AT products, we must improve energy efficiency of devices and things with the energy efficiency requirements of these applications. The rapid increased data demand to contribute to drive to expansion of the flash memory market. In this environment, manufacturing efficiency and environmental friendliness are key drivers. Kioxia will continue to build a growth cycle, the technology, people, and partnerships with customers and suppliers at the core of our business. Regarding our partnership, here in Taiwan, we have very powerful partners that have built the history of flash memory together with. We will continue to strengthen these partnerships and pursue the technologies. They are environmental friendly even as we continue to expand the scale of our operations. Here, we have messages for us from the powerful partners in Taiwan. Kimpo Holdings, New Kimpo Group. Nanya Technology. Phison Electronics. PowerTech Technology. And Silicon Motion Technology. Thank you, my friends. As I mentioned earlier, the development flash memory has supported the development of digital technology, which has changed our lives Together with partnerships, Kioxia will contribute to the development of digital technology by providing the products and services that people need in timely manner. In our device design, we have optimized chip architecture and 3D vertical and horizontal scales in order to increase in capacity and create more efficient devices. We will continue implement more efficient production processes to bring more comfortable, safe, creative lives to every part of the life. Before my ending speech, I would like to encourage all of you to visit Kioxia Taiwan's booth in Hall 1. There, you can learn more about our commitment to sustainability and detail our products and technologies that will soon be available to public. We are looking forward to seeing you there. We will also be hosting a tech salon with our technology executives later. So please join this as well. 谢谢大家. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Mr. Tomoharu Watanabe. Please return back to your seat. And now we are very honored to invite Mr. Victor Zheng, Executive Vice President of Infrastructure Business at Delta. Mr. Zheng has served as EVP at Delta since 2023, and he is responsible for business including ICT, energy infrastructure, and display-related products and solutions. Today, he will talk about realizing an intelligent and sustainable future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Victor Zheng.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Chen, representing Delta Electronics, to give this short talk at COMPUTEX Forum on the subject of sustainability. And the title today is Realizing an Intelligent and Sustainable Future. I think we would all agree that our #1 challenge right now is the global warming issue. At current rate, as most of the nation in the world agrees, we probably will see a 2.8 degrees Celsius temperature rise by the end of the century. And in order to keep the temperature rise under 1.5 degrees Celsius, we need to take more aggressive measures, as much as a further reduction of 45% of emission of carbon into our atmosphere, as published by the UN emission gap report in 2020. So there's a lot of a challenge ahead of us in terms of reduction of carbon emissions. Delta Electronics is a major supplier of power conversion product lines. We are currently the world's #1 supplier in power supply to IT industry, in servers, notebook computers, desktop, and a number of workstations. We are also a major suppliers of telecom outdoor power stations, energy backup system for data centers, renewable energy conversion systems, and so on and so forth. We were established in 1971, and in 2022, our worldwide revenue is around US$ 13 billion. And our corporate mission for a long time has been to provide innovative, clean, and energy-efficient solutions for a better tomorrow, as our founder has dictated almost 20 years back. So for the various power products that we have manufactured over the years, we estimate, as attested by ISAE 2000 methodology in 2022, from 2010 to 2022, this roughly 12 years of period, we saved the electric energy consumption by roughly 40 billion kilowatt hours, which is translated to about carbon emission reduction by about 21 million cubic tons. So this is done through efficiency improvement of the power products that we made over the years. And we have joined a number of international initiatives to help the reduction of carbon emissions. For example, in 2015, COP21 in Paris, we signed on to women business initiatives to voluntarily reduce our carbon emission. And then in 2017, we passed the SBTI science-based target initiative, the scientific evaluation. And our aim is to reduce carbon intensity footprint by 56.6%, based on the 2014 emission level, with a target to be achieved by 2025. And as a matter of fact, by 2021 year end, we have already achieved 71%, well ahead of our original schedule through a number of measures. And so in 2022, we also joined the net zero goal, race to zero, as we see that the potential temperature rise may go beyond 2.8 degrees Celsius. We need to do a lot more to reduce these temperature rise trend. So 2021 is the year that we joined the RE100 to pledge 100% renewable energy usage by the year of 2030. We are at about, on a global base, probably around 60 to 65% now. We're still working on that. And then 2022, we joined this race to zero, using 100% renewable energy and also produce equal or more renewable energy that's consumed by the enterprise by the year 2050, which is very, very aggressive goals for a company of our types and size. But anyway, this is a target that we have set ourselves to achieve. And one of the key measures that we have done over the past few years is that we impose an internal carbon pricing. And this pricing is set at $300 for every cubic tons of carbon we emit into the environment. Now, as an enterprise, we do not produce CO2 or carbon. But this number is translated through the electricity we consume for our offices, for our manufacturing process, for our plants. So with that internal carbon pricing imposed, we use the money that we levied on businesses to take many steps. For example, to purchase solar power from Iraq or from PPAs, take many initiatives to reduce electricity consumption, energy consumption in our facilities. Over the past 10, 12 years, we have implemented roughly over 2,500 different projects to reduce energy consumption. Few examples are burning process energy recycling devices and systems. We build our own rooftop solar farms. That's not enough, it's not that much, but we continue to build more. And we have also improved HVAC systems, air conditioning systems, insulation system on machinery and systems to help reduce energy consumptions. And through this effort, our business is, so to speak, being taxed with the carbon pricing. And we use that to invest into our plants, R&D, to try to help to achieve this 1.5 degree temperature rise limit. But at the same time, we work with our stakeholders, our own people, our suppliers, our customers, to innovate and find ways to reduce carbon emission and also create business opportunity at the same time. Only through this cycle of invest and create new business that we believe we can continue on this effort on a more self-sustaining ways instead of force upon our organization and people to try to save energy. So over the years, for our effort, we have been recognized by a number of international investment agencies. For example, here is Dow Jones Sustainability Indexes. We have been on this list from 2011 till roughly nowadays, and in many of the highest score for the electronic equipment, instrument, and component industry. On the carbon disclosure project, we have also been on their leadership level list for many years up to this point. And then S&P Global, we have been on their gold class list since in 2022. So to fulfill our corporate mission, on the one hand, we pay effort to enact on this ESG actions. And also, on the other hand, we use our engineering talents and our strength to create more of energy-saving systems and solutions. Our aim is to develop ourselves from a hardware product level, power supply, power efficiency management company, to first, indoor systems, energy management to improve efficiency. This is done mainly through our building automation business unit. And then for the outdoor and more wide scale, we wanted to create the energy management solution for nanogrid and renewable energy systems. And on the longer term, we want to be a major player, global player in automation and also infrastructure businesses. So the way to achieve that, we start out as a hardware system manufacturer, complemented by many of the software management tools and platforms that we developed over the years, connected through a seamless connectivity and communication system to transform ourselves from OT to IoT-based energy-saving technology player. And the market focuses in recent years has been on these three categories: transportation for mainly electric vehicle, power electronics for electric vehicle, transportation in mobility system for electric vehicle and charging systems, automation on industrial automation to optimize the efficiency and also manageability of our industrial systems, and then building automation to improve the overall efficiency and also usability of our commercial buildings, residential buildings. And then on the infrastructure side, information and communication technology infrastructure has been our baseline, base industry that we serve for many years. But now we get more and more into energy infrastructure for renewable and for nanogrid type of environment applications. This is a list by IPCC-AR6 to indicate the potential contribution to set emission reduction. And those blue bars, which you can see the blue bars, but probably not the fine print associated with those bars. On the energy side, the first two is, one is solar, one is wind. This means the effectiveness of, the blue bars indicate the effectiveness of these technologies. Once we build a solar farm, once we enable a wind turbine, they start producing renewable green energy during the lifetime operation of that system. So it's highly effective in terms of reducing carbon into our atmosphere. And for the same token, building and transportation for various segments and technologies, they are very effective in reducing the overall carbon emissions. So Delta's focus on energy, building automation, and transportation coincide very well with these major trends. On the ICT infrastructure system, software and services, our solution deliver high availability and energy efficient power management to meet the demand of 4G and 5G cellular infrastructure, and also for high efficient backup of data center solutions and power conversions. We currently have two data center, our own data center that's LEED certified, one in China, one in our Delta headquarters here in Taipei. These are some of the new systems and solutions that we developed to enhance efficiency and power conversion. On the right-hand side is these new high voltage DC solutions that could achieve end-to-end 98.5% efficiency, unsurpassed in the industry. And on the left is the single-phase immersion cooling solutions. We put the server system boards into these tanks filled with the liquid to reduce the thermal energy that the server board produces. This is probably become necessary in the near future with more and more of the AI-based high-power processor, GPUs, that's now more and more prevalent in the industry, in the market. The PUE, power utilization effectiveness, can be as low as 1.1 ratio or even lower. And compared to a conventional air-cooled thermal cooling system, it saves up to 84% of the energy. And on the energy infrastructure side, this is more related to renewable energy and then more of nanogrid energy. We provide a smart and green microgrid and enhance the energy resilience, stability, and also help with sustainability. And then on the e-mobility side, this is, again, to electric vehicle mainly. We provide many of the key components and modules, bidirectional onboard charger and DC-DC module, integrated e-drive system. This includes inverter drives as well as the motor, electric motor. And then the integrated power and control unit for electric vehicles. We're currently a tier 1 supplier to many of the major automakers in the world, about 70% of the top 20 names in the industry. And on the charging infrastructure side, we provide wide varieties of electric chargers, all the way from these small residential overnight charger to the large supercharger that could charge up a Tesla Model 3 in maybe less than 20 minutes or so. So we provide these full arrays of product offerings and solutions to run these chargers, and we have sold over 2 million units or sets of systems for electric charging systems. And on the building automation side, building is a major consumption point of electric energy. So it is quite important that we need to do something to reduce energy consumption within buildings. So with our building automation system and components, we wanted to foster a green, smarter, healthier, and also safe environment for people to live and work in. Also, for Delta itself, since 2006, we start building our manufacturing plants or office buildings, all certified by LEED or local government agencies for green buildings. So we have built over 32 factories and donated 15 buildings to universities and schools that are all green buildings to personify the actions that we want to take in this effort. An example I'd like to showcase here is our Delta's North American headquarters. It's a green building. It's a LEED Zero Energy building certified just in May of 2023. We had this building since 2015, originally certified to be LEED Zero, but as more and more people start using electric vehicle and start charging them at the company buildings, we weren't able to keep that. So we had to build more and more rooftop solar panels to generate more power. But it is LEED Zero now, meaning that the energy that this building produces is equal or more than the energy that this building consumes on an annual basis. So what we do is we have many innovative systems installed in this building. For example, rainwater collection, EV charging systems, LED lighting to save power, We have rooftop solar generation systems and carport solar generation systems, power regeneration system for our elevators, building control, smart building controls, and geothermal HVAC systems, and these ground source heat pumping systems. I want to mention one thing about this geothermal HVAC system. It's the main factor that we're able to become LEED Zero in this case. So it's located in the city of Fremont, in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's in the southeast corner. And this building is about several kilometers from the Bay floodplain. So underneath the building is basically Bay mud and Bay water. We laid over 90 miles of water pipes under this land, just crisscrossing across this land, and pump water through it. And because of the latitude of San Francisco Bay Area, the bay water is at 68 to 69 Fahrenheit year-round. So the water going through these pipes is basically kept at 68, 69 Fahrenheit all year round. And using heat exchange, we can elevate the water temperature slightly to make a heat source for heaters in wintertime, or lower the water temperature a little bit, again, using heat exchange systems to reduce the temperature below several degrees to make the air conditioning systems for summertime. So we have over-the-ceiling pipes for air conditioning, and the cool air just drops down naturally. And then for heaters, we have heated water under the floor, and the warm air will rise up from floor naturally. And it's done without forced air ventilation, no fans. So working in the building is very comfortable, and summertime is cool, wintertime is comfortably warm, but not very warm, and we don't hear any of the noise from fan. And this is an example of combining technology and natural environment to create a super efficient building structure. So thank you very much. I'd like to invite the folks to visit our booth across the street at Hall 2, 4th floor. Our theme is to create an intelligent and sustainable connecting hub. And also, if you would allow me to share with you a 3-minute promotional video to showcase the products and solutions we're demonstrating.
Welcome to Delta's showcase at COMPUTEX 2023. This year, our theme, Intelligent, Sustainable Connecting Hub, highlights our new brand value proposition. The first stop is the Smart Wellbeing Office. Hello, Roland.
Hello, Maggie. This year, we have prepared many pack-level solutions which will present for saving time and money. For example, we have implemented an IoT-based solution that seamlessly integrates the meeting room equipment. With just a single click, the user can change and switch the room condition between scenarios. For system level, we expand from BMS to CMS, which is a community management system. And this system covers from building inside to outdoor infra, from edge to IoC and to cloud. So through this true digital twin, to enhance the operational efficiency.
ESG is now a crucial topic for global companies. Have we developed corresponding solutions?
Yes, ESG solution is another important milestone to COMPUTEX this time. Delta Enterprise Sustainability Management Platform is leveraging cutting-edge technologies like AI, data swapping, to monitor and control the renewable energy, RE matching, and organization carbon emission product footprint, and support multiple site and multiple region demand. So this platform helps enterprises mitigate the climate risks and accomplish their ESG goal with a clear path. So next, Daryl will introduce our latest video surveillance service, the Vortex.
Vortex is a cloud-based video surveillance service that integrates advanced AI technology with a wide range of cameras. Vortex subscribers can cut the cost of human monitoring and equipment upkeep. enabling your team to focus on what truly matters.
Our data center stabilizes information and communication within the hub. Hello, Athena.
Yes, we offer catering data center infra solutions with industry-leading efficiency and high reliability, helping customers to optimize PUE while lowering expenses. Our offerings encompass power systems, cooling, racks, network systems, DSIM software, and remote PC arrays.
Hello, Peter. Can you tell us about Delta's role in energy transition?
Delta has developed the Delta Green low-carbon solution, which includes energy management and EV charging infrastructure, helps to conduct the peak shaving and optimize the solar energy utilization, offering low-carbon transition solutions for commercial and industrial spaces.
Our final stop is the Live Store. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Maggie. Here we showcase our power supplies for 5G devices and commercial and gaming computers, as well as our USB Type-C wall sockets and Energies 140 series adapters. For e-mobility, we provide the e-charging solutions and power drive systems for e-scooters and e-bikes.
Here you can explore a smarter, healthier work environment, low carbon mobility, and sustainable living. We invite you to join us in realizing a better world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zheng, for your inspiring speech. Please return back to your seat. Next, we are very honored to invite Ms. Alexis Corwell, VP and CTO of Asia Pacific Japan of Intel. Ms. Alex Corwell is passionate about AI and deep learning frameworks, advising on strategies and policy on the development and governance for AI. While recognizing the potential for AI, she also believes that it's a tool that we should use ethically for the betterment for the society and environment. And today, she will talk about advancing sustainability together, collaborations for impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Alexis Corwell.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm incredibly honored to be joined by such amazing companies and speakers that are really leading the way in sustainability. When I joined the tech industry about 20 years ago, not to give my age away, I joined because we fundamentally make magic happen, right? We bring science fiction to life. Now, 20 years later, I'm still here because I think we have a responsibility to make that magic happen, but leave a better planet than what we found it as. We have the responsibility to do that sustainably. And I'm here to ask for your help. I have an ask throughout this conversation that I'd really like you to join us on this journey, because we don't think we can do it alone. So for those of you I haven't met, my name is Alexis. I'm the CTO of Asia Pacific and Japan, and I'm honored to be able to spend every single day of my career right now trying to solve these problems with you. But if I'm going to ask you to join me, I should probably tell you what we've been doing, right? Why should you join us in this mission? For us, this goes back a long, long way, and it's more than just sustainability. It's about our corporate social responsibility. In 2020, we announced what we call our RISE goals, R-I-S-E, responsible, inclusive, sustainable, and enabled by our really, really passionate employees. So from a responsibility perspective, everybody is talking about generative AI. I'm assuming you all have played with it in some way, shape, or form. Either you've created a new artwork, or you've, in my case, written a new bedtime story for my kids with ChatGPT. We don't know what's real anymore because these capabilities are fantastic, but they also are coming on really fast. From a responsibility perspective, I'm really proud to say that Intel has actually created a tool called Fake Catcher that with 96% accuracy can tell you whether or not the video you're looking at is real. Think about that. The amount of content that can be built today with things like Stable Diffusion, which is you write a prompt and it gives you a piece of artwork that I played with it one day and I said, give me a dog flying over a desert. And that's what it created for me. I don't know if that's real. Maybe somebody figured out how to get a dog flying over a desert. But now there's tools that can help you responsibly uncover whether or not this is real. From an inclusivity perspective, over $2 billion a year is spent from Intel with vendors from a diverse background. That means we're helping to invest in our communities and the places that we live and work. That's incredibly important to us. And on an enabling front, in the last 3 years alone, when a lot of us were locked down and couldn't really do what we wanted to do, we still managed to volunteer 2.8 million hours in our communities. I'm incredibly proud of what the employees have given back, because that means we're actually making a difference. And our foundation, which is Intel's philanthropic arm, has donated over $760 million to charities around the globe. And sustainability, which is what I'm here to talk about, I'll get into here in a second. But as you can see, like, this is core to who we are. This is part of our function. And as you heard earlier, if you don't measure it, you can't really tell if you're making a difference. We measure all of this and report on it very regularly. And as I think about sustainability, there's really 3 pillars that matter to us, right? As a company that has our own factories, we care very deeply about what's happening in those factories. We care about the water usage. We care about our carbon footprint. We care about the waste. So that's pillar 1 and what we focus on in terms of our own scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. The second big pillar, though, is we build ingredients. I don't build a product that very few people go to the shelf and buy my product off the shelf. Some of them do. There's definitely DIYers, and I'm thrilled for that part of the audience. But for the most part, I'm a B2B company, right? I sell to the likes of you, which means we have an opportunity to partner with you in the design phase to make sure that the entire product comes together more sustainably. Not only the pieces that we deliver to you, but then how does the entire system come together? Software, the platform, the silicon, all has to be as one. And then thirdly, it's really the collaboration. And again, back to my ask, that you join us on this journey, because it's not a one and done. We can't do it. We can solve for our own factories, but we don't solve for the end product. We've got to do this together. And candidly, some of the goals I'm about to show you, I don't know how I'm going to achieve. We have to invent these things together. We have to partner together to really think differently about how we not only leave this world a better place for our kids, but we think differently about how we deliver a TCO benefit to our customers. So when we first announced this, we, in a good engineering company's mindset, set our goals. By 2040, we committed to net zero greenhouse gas emissions for Scope 1 and Scope 2. By 2030, we committed to reducing our Scope 3 emissions, so all of our supply chain emissions, by 30%. By 2030, we also committed to 100% renewable electricity across the entirety of our operations. That's our entire factory network and our office buildings. Also by 2030, net positive water, which in a factory environment is huge because we use water consistently and incredibly clean water as we build the wafers, and then zero waste to a landfill. We're making amazing progress. Today, I'm really proud to stand here and tell you that we're already at 93% renewable electricity across our operations. And in Malaysia, which we just celebrated 50 years of being open in Malaysia, and one of our largest factory networks that we have, 100% renewable energy already. Back in, I think it was about 2011, 2012, we committed to completely conflict-free, responsibly sourced minerals. We're there. Because it's not just enough to worry about the carbon footprint. If the minerals you're bringing in are creating their own issues, either with the citizens that are helping to mine them or with the minerals themselves because they're hard to access and they're not renewable, that conflict-free, that renewable mineral source is incredibly important, and we're there. From a water perspective, we are already net positive in India and in the US. We've saved 9.6 billion, with a B, gallons of water already. And in Malaysia, we've already been able to recycle 26 billion gallons of water, and we've returned 27 million gallons of water to the community itself. That's huge when you think about what we're able to then do within those communities to help give back. And lastly, 6.4% of Intel's waste hit the landfill. So we're not at zero, but we're really darn close. We are participating in the circular economy because we believe, as a technology leader, it is our fundamental responsibility to stand and lead and move forward and help the industry go together with you. I could stand up here and talk about how we are working on sustainability across every single one of our products. You guys all know Intel. We are in IoT, we're in PCs, we're in data centers and cloud. I'm going to focus and hone in on PCs specifically, because otherwise you guys would be here for like the next 3 hours and you'd probably want to walk up and get out. That's not okay. So let me focus on PCs specifically, but if you've got questions about what we do in any of the other parts of our business, please let me know. From a PC perspective, and really as we think about sustainability across our products, you have to think about the entirety of the life cycle. So I talked a little bit about what we're doing in manufacturing and how we're helping within the factories, within our fabs specifically, but there's also the provisioning, which I'll get into in a second. How are those chips ending up in a system that's going to end up in someone's hands? And then there's the life cycle of that system. How are you patching it? How are you repairing it? Can you update it? What happens if you get the dreaded blue screen? How can you do that? And in a world where we all work hybrid now, everything is effectively changed, those remote capabilities are incredibly important. But you also then have to think about the end of life of a product. What do you do at the end? I'm sure most of you out here, you're probably pretty tech forward. You adopt technology pretty quickly. Your end of life for a PC is probably not the end of life for that PC. It probably could have a second life somewhere else. But how do you do that in a way that you're really comfortable that the PC you're passing on isn't giving up any of your personal important data? So let's talk about the provisioning part first. This is really where it becomes a team sport, right? Where we have to collaborate. It starts with how do we bring our products to you, right? As you think through your own Scope 3 carbon emissions, we deliver products to you in either completely recycled packaging or bio-based plastic packaging. So it's helping you reduce your footprint. But we also deliver those parts with reference designs. So our engineers have looked at what could we do to reduce the components required to make a PC? What could we do to lessen the number of things that you physically have to put into that machine and still make it perform? We give those to you because we want you to be able to build a machine that not only has less parts, so you have a lower BOM cost, but it also reduces your carbon footprint of that machine because it's less things to put into it. We've invented things like lower temperature soldering, right? Admittedly, I didn't even think this was a thing because I grew up in woodworking and I grew up using metal and building things, and soldering I thought was one temperature. You didn't have a choice. But no, we've actually been able to find a way to use lower temperature solder irons to connect parts to a board that again reduces your own carbon footprints in your manufacturing process. We also support things like ATX 12VO, which supports incredibly low system idle power, which allows the system then when it's in use to run and utilize much less power. Provisioning, incredibly important that we think about all of that up front. But let's think about it, what happens then through the life cycle. So now you've built the machine, it's beautiful, you've got it into somebody's hands. How do you track the usage of that machine? How do you understand what the wear of that machine is? How do you remotely manage, right? For those of us that work from anywhere in the world, I'm based in Singapore. I haven't been in Singapore in 4 weeks, right? My IT department helps me remotely. How do you do that? How do you optimize that fleet management? We've got a couple of things that can help focus on that. And it starts with, let's give you a chip that actually really supports what you're trying to do. I am super proud to say that we are on a path to get to 10x performance efficiency by 2030. 10x. We're already 2.8x there with 13th gen. And we're on a path to get even further. And Maybe a little nod to Energy Star here for a second. We're 68% more performant than the bar they set. We think they could nudge it up a bit. But what does that mean? That means you've got a system that starts more performant efficient. And maybe as a quick sneak peek, it's just the start. Meteor Lake, which is our next gen processor that's coming out later this year, goes even farther. I'm super excited. There's 3 key innovations within this. The first one is a new approach to power management. We're going to continue on that path to be 10x more power efficient by 2030. The second big innovation is it's got a built-in GPU, which leverages all of the capabilities of our discrete ARC graphics cards, but now it's in a really low power SoC chiplet. And the third one, which given my AI efficiency and proficiency and love of AI, I'm super excited about, is we've integrated our neural VPU into the chip itself. This AI on-chip capability is going to open up entirely new classes of workloads, including how do you manage, how do you think about your fleet, and how do you think about the usages of your fleet. So when you think about those 3 new innovations within this chip, we're continuing this focus of sustainability, and we're continuing this focus of reducing the carbon footprint across the life cycle of these machines. And even, as I step back and think about the manufacturing of this, we actually built this with Foveros. Foveros is this really amazing technology that brings some of the benefits of the monolithic, very low power approach, but it does it in a chiplet design. So you can actually be much more efficient by the end of the, when you finish your chip and you tape out. But a chip is just a chip, right? It doesn't work if the software doesn't know how to take advantage of what's there. Intel's got about 18,000 software engineers. Who knew that? And the Intel people can't raise their hands. Who knew Intel had 18,000 software engineers? Our whole focus of those engineers is to ensure that all of the stuff I've just talked about can actually be accessed by the user. Because just because we put it in the chip doesn't mean that the software can see it if it doesn't know it's there, if you don't tie it together. So we've got tools like things like Adaptix technology. Inside of Adaptix technology, it has a power efficiency performance monitor. It helps you tune the machine to be much more effective. We've got things like intelligent display technology. Who uses an OLED display? They're stunning, right? They're absolutely beautiful, but they can suck the life out of a battery if you don't have the capabilities to manage them effectively. We now have capabilities that can increase your battery life 30 to 50% without compromising on that contrast ratio and on that experience of your OLED display. That's really important because when you think about it, if my battery lasts 30 to 50% longer, I'm charging it less, right? Lower carbon footprint. As we kind of move through the life cycle, right, there's tracking software that allows you to understand the telemetry of what's happening within your fleet, within your system, so that you can better manage it. And lastly, on the remote manage and repair, you've probably all heard of active management technology or endpoint management. This really allows companies, especially companies that don't have their own IT departments, to manage things remotely. It gives you more flexibility in what you do with your fleet. And you can do it in-band and out-of-band too. We've actually seen with large enterprises that deploy a strategy of a zero dispatch approach, they can save up to 28 tons of carbon emissions per year. 28 tons per year just by utilizing technology like this. Again, trying to ensure that as we partner together, we're helping reduce that total greenhouse gas emissions and your scope 3 as you deliver products to your own customers. And finally, retirement. Someday we all hope to retire with grace. Those PCs can too. But you can only retire a PC if you feel truly confident in how you're passing it on. I've probably had 5 or 6 PCs. I'm fortunate, and I get to try a lot of really great ones, but they're not They're wonderful PCs when I'm done with them. Being able to pass them on is incredibly important. But that requires then having tools like remote erase or local erase to ensure that all of my data, all of my company's data, is gone before I turn it over. But if I'm able to give that PC a second life, either by giving it to a student who doesn't have one, or donating it to a school, last year I was really, really proud to be able to work with a school in Thailand who serves, actually rescues a lot of women out of trafficking scenarios. We donated PCs to them, and they're able to now utilize those to help those women get into college and to learn technology, tools, and trades. But you can't do that if you're giving them a PC that you're not certain is protected and is clean from what you've already used with. We're really proud to bring some of these forward. And as you saw earlier, there's some seriously cool designs. But I'm excited to have them because we talk about sustainable PCs, and most of the time, they're big and they're clunky and they're ugly and they're heavy, and this isn't. This is super sleek. And if you want to come see it, you're welcome to. It's also in the ASUS booth. But look at this. This is their consumer PC. It's gorgeous. It's lighter than what I carry right now. You might not get it back. But it's beautiful, and it's an OLED display. And for the enterprise, the first fully carbon neutral enterprise laptop. Again, super lightweight, incredibly sleek, beautiful design. It's what we would have wanted in a PC 5 years ago, right? But now it's completely sustainable, and it's built in a way that we can all be incredibly proud of what we're delivering, not only to the environment, but as we go home and tell our kids what we do. Both of these are based on Intel 13th gen processors, and there's more to come. But look, as I've said, this is a journey. We can't do this by ourselves. We don't want to do this by ourselves. It takes all of us. And my ask here today is that you join us on this, that you help us build and deliver low-carbon motherboards. You take us up on the offer to help you reduce the number of components that are in a design, that we think through how do you power optimize across the entire life cycle. Repairable, upgradable designs give these machines new life. And if they can't get a new life, at least recycle. They've got recycled products both in them and can be recycled at the end. This doesn't even get into what Intel's doing on getting the power sustainably to the machines. As I mentioned earlier, I could stand up here and talk for hours about what Intel's doing across these different vectors. But maybe just one really quick hit is we're helping governments around the globe sustainably bring or work on their electricity grid so that it's a much more sustainable, smart solution so that you can bring power to where it needs to be. That renewable electricity that we're also utilizing, we're also helping make sure other people get access to it as well. And then, as I mentioned, software, software, software. If the software is not optimized to what's available within your system or what displays or components are a part of that system, you're not going to get as much performance efficiency or power efficiency out of it. So we have an opportunity to really partner together better and tie those components and that system together in a way that our end users get a much better solution. If you think about this and you kind of step back, this is all PC. If you think about this in the context of a data center, it's the same idea, except the data center, the biggest carbon footprint is the running of that server. So being able to bring in solutions like some of the liquid-cooled solutions you've seen earlier today, or some of the advancements Intel's helping drive in open platforms, allow the lifetime of that server to reduce its own footprint too. Again, if you want to talk about that, please let me know. I'd love to. But thank you so much for being here and for your commitment. I'm taking all of you being here as a commitment to your own path for sustainability and what you and your company are doing. If you're just starting your journey, here's a few of the organizations that you can be a part of that are really dedicated to helping the industry move forward. But really, it's all about us. It's all about you. And as one of my child's favorite superheroes uncles once said, with great power comes great responsibility. We all have incredibly great power because we build magic, and we have the opportunity to use that magic to make this world a better place. So thank you. I really appreciate that you're joining me on this journey.
Thank you, Ms. Corwell, for your inspiring speech. Please return back to your seats. The 2023 COMPUTEX Forum has come to an end this year. Once again, thank you all for joining us today on 2023 COMPUTEX Forum. We should have a more profound imagination about our future lives and technology. We look forward to having you back next year to witness what we may achieve in the following year. See you guys in 2024 COMPUTEX Forum. Thank you very much.